Now, have you noticed local public services in your area closing? I'm talking about libraries, nurseries, leisure centres. These are just some of the things under threat. They're all in danger because the government needs to save money to help pay off our national debt. A BBC survey of councils across the country has found it could mean up to a 10% cut in cities and towns. But what does this mean for small organisations that often work in the heart of the community? Richie Tandon investigates.
Why take something away that is working really well?
Imagine not being able to go to something you're looking forward to all day.
Just some thoughts there on cuts in local council spending and what it may mean for frontline services that work at the heart of communities. Local authorities across England have told the BBC they expect to cut 25,000 jobs and slash some services. So what about knock-on effects for many local community organisations that help people connect with services? I went down to one such organisation to find out. So I'm at Sahaley Women's Group. You can probably hear the gym machines behind me.
Hi, I'm Shabina Gill. I'm Sahaley Hub Manager. The amount of people coming through the doors with health conditions such as diabetes, heart disease and also people with real weight management issues. I was quick to put on our own pilot programme on exercise and wellness, which is GP referral. The environment that we've always tried to make sure we create with Sahaley is a safe environment for women to actually come in without having to worry about the door being opened and men just walking in.
Whilst many organisations that help South Asian women, youth and other groups may not be directly funded by local councils, there is a worry they may still be under threat. Joy Warmington is Chief Executive Officer of BRAT, an equalities and human rights charity.
What will these cuts mean? And will those organisations be easier targets? You know, they're not directly employed by councils, so that you can actually get rid of some of that funding without necessarily affecting your direct employment obligations, really.
But for Joy and Shabina, what they're also worried about are social impacts on family life and values.
What's going to happen if you cut that stuff, and what will happen 5 years down the line? And I think that's where we might get social fallout. There's some of the prevent stuff, some of the things that we need to do with our young people, some of the things we might need to do around equality, building a better society. All of that stuff, it sounds fluffy, but it's essential bread and butter of how we live together. Some things are more easily expendable. Do you cut off the specialised bit of provision that might be doing a good service, but actually you kind of want to claw back that resource? And equality is vulnerable, and they're vulnerable because they're not part of mainstream funding.
But is there a need for a debate here on what services are funded and why? Joy feels that it may be time to shake up the way organisations are funded, sometimes in terms of identity and ethnicity.
We should fund really, first and foremost, on the basis of need, not on the basis of particular identity, like, you know, being of a particular ethnicity. I mean, there might be a case where you need specific services, but I think we need to be clear about the evidence as to why.
Most certainly questions are being thrown up as to what should be cut and why, but there's a hope that long-term effects will be considered.